Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into an intriguing but lesser-known aspect of Walt Disney's life, his smoking habit. Walt Disney, the beloved creator of Mickey Mouse, Disneyland, and the man behind one of the world's most cherished entertainment empires, was a heavy smoker throughout much of his life. But why did he smoke? How did it affect him personally, his health, and even his company? Let's take a closer look. Walt Disney's relationship with smoking started early in his life, like many men of his generation. He reportedly began smoking in his early 20s, around the time he was building his first animation studio. The entertainment industry in the 1920s was fast-paced, competitive, and filled with stress. Smoking was incredibly common, even fashionable for young men at the time. But for Walt, smoking soon became more than just a habit. It became a constant companion. Disney's daily routine involved chain smoking, often going through several packs a day. He preferred unfiltered cigarettes, especially the Lucky Strike brand.
So for your own real deep-down smoking enjoyment, smoke that smoke of fine tobacco, Lucky Strike.
To him, smoking was a way to manage the incredible stress of running a business, especially during difficult times. But the effects of his heavy smoking would, over time, leave a lasting mark.
Good evening, friends. I'm sorry to have to welcome you to this invitational showing of Follow Me Boys in this way. I'd give anything to be there with you, but this seems to be one of those times I'm tied down here at the studio night and day. Of course, it's always this way when we're shooting a picture.
As the years passed, Disney's smoking habit began to affect his health. Although he tried to stay active, he loved polo and even horseback riding, his smoking habit was relentless. By the 1950s, when he was working on the Disneyland project, he was still smoking heavily despite the warnings that began surfacing about the health risks of cigarettes. Smoking ultimately caught up with him in a serious way. In 1966, Walt Disney was diagnosed with lung cancer. Medical records and accounts from those who were close to him show that his cancer was in its later stages by the time it was discovered. Sadly, he passed away just a few weeks after his 65th birthday, on December 15, 1966. Many people believe that his smoking habit played a significant role in cutting his life short. Despite his heavy smoking habit, Walt Disney's public image rarely showed it. Interestingly, the Disney company worked hard to keep his smoking out of the spotlight, as it conflicted with the wholesome, family-friendly brand they were building.
Never let anyone see me smoking. Hate to encourage bad habits.
Disneyland was meant to be the happiest place on Earth, a place for families and children. Any association with smoking, a habit increasingly seen as unhealthy, could have tarnished that image. In fact, there are almost no public photos of Walt Disney with a cigarette in his hand. The Disney company took careful steps to preserve his image. Any photographs that showed him smoking were often retouched, erasing the cigarette to make Walt look more family-friendly. There are accounts that Walt Disney did make some attempts to quit smoking over the years. Some colleagues and family members say he knew smoking was affecting his health, especially as he got older. He occasionally tried switching to cigars or cutting back, but it seems he was never fully able to quit. This was, in part, because smoking was so deeply ingrained in his lifestyle and daily habits. It helped him think, relax, and focus during late-night studio sessions or when facing challenging projects. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough to help him break free from the addiction. When Walt Disney passed away in 1966, it sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. He had been a larger-than-life figure, and his death at only 65 seemed sudden to the public. Many people believed that he had so much more to give, and he did. His projects, including ideas for Epcot and further expansions of Disneyland, were left unfinished or left in the hands of others.
Walt Disney, who will bring a new world of entertainment, pleasure, and economic development to the state of Florida. Walt Disney. Thank you, Governor. May I also introduce on my left the financial genius of Walt Disney Productions, its president, Mr. Roy Disney. Thank you, Governor.
To this day, his death serves as a reminder of the consequences of smoking. His passing became part of a larger cultural shift against smoking in the U.S., as health campaigns and medical research linked cigarette use to various diseases.
Finally, in 1964, scientists put the story together in the Surgeon General's report. The verdict was that cigarette smoking is dangerous to health for several reasons. Cigarette smoking is the most important cause of lung cancer. Lung cancer is a quick, usually fatal disease.
Have you tried one? Don't.
Today, the Disney Company takes a strong stance against smoking. In Disney films and theme parks, smoking is heavily restricted or outright banned. Characters in Disney movies are rarely, if ever, shown smoking. This stands in stark contrast to the era when Walt himself was creating films and working in an environment where smoking was commonplace. The Disney Company, recognizing the effect of Walt's own smoking habit on his health and legacy, has become a powerful advocate for a smoke-free environment.
Starting May 1st, smoking will be banned inside Disneyland, Disney California Adventure, and Downtown Disney. Instead, there will be designated smoking areas outside of entrances.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past, and here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
In the end, Walt Disney's story is complex. He was a visionary, a creator, and a man of immense talent and drive. Yet, like many people, he struggled with habits that took a toll on his health. His smoking habit, while often hidden from the public, was a significant part of his life and contributed to his early death. It's a story that adds another layer to the legend of Walt Disney, a reminder that even our heroes are human, with their own struggles and challenges. To this day, Walt Disney's influence on animation, theme parks, and family entertainment is unmatched. His legacy lives on through every Disney movie, every Disneyland visitor, and every child inspired by his creations. And yet, his smoking habit is a part of his story too, a cautionary tale about how even the greatest among us can be brought down by a single habit. Thanks for watching. If you found this look into Walt Disney's life and legacy as fascinating as we did, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more stories behind the icons. Let us know in the comments, did you know about this side of Walt Disney's life? And what other untold stories would you like us to explore?